that has implications for our National High Point Championship, which will be decided this weekend, probably not until our final heat on Sunday because of how close the top 3 boats are to each other in terms of National High Point standings. Now you're going to notice too that this is a little bit of a smaller unlimited hydroplane, and it has a smaller engine in it. It's a T53, generates about 1,400 horsepower compared to 2,900 horsepower for the larger unlimiteds, but it's lighter and narrower than the bigger unlimiteds as well. Now Dustin Eccles crosses the start line, lap 1. We will bring you the speeds as we are given them at the end of each of Dustin's laps. This team had a chance to test both in 2016 and then in June of this year on the Columbia River in the Tri-Cities, Washington, where we raced the last weekend in July. So Dustin Eccles right up the buoy line. Dustin from a suburb of Seattle. This is really his first full season, although he had an opportunity to test the boat. Last season did not go well for the team, and so this is really Dustin's first full rookie season in the boat, moving up from the Grand Prix class. Dustin drove for a couple of different Grand Prix hydroplane teams. All right, coming to the end of lap number 1, first of his qualifying laps.
He's coming in.
101.928. 101.928 for Dustin Eccles. Our speed is measured right over the top of those buoys. That's where the 2.5 miles is measured. So the farther out from the buoy line you get, the longer it takes you to get around that still 2.5 miles, and that lowers your average speed. So here comes Dustin up the backstretch now, moves a little bit out to the right. Had a lot of work to do on this boat after the team left to Detroit 3 weeks ago. They had a problem with the propeller and tore up the bottom of the boat, brought it back to their Edmonds shop, Edmonds, Washington, just north of Seattle, and put about the back half of the bottom of the boat back together again in order to make it here to San Diego for the Bill Munsey Cup. So now we'll put him on the clock. Tom Thompson in the U11 Reliable Diamond Tool presents J&Ds on the clock for qualifying here on Fast Lap Friday on Mission Bay. Big skid fin wall of water as that skid fin digs about a 6-foot trench behind him. Now that falls away. Got a nice big high rooster tail. It's just from that propeller that's partially submerged. That's why the water shoots up from in back of the boat. Nice smooth ride for Tom Thompson. That's a little of air right there. He had some air under the boat, got it up a little high. Off the SeaWorld turn, hugging the buoy line, pretty close. And down the front straightaway along Fiesta Island. Thank you guys for staying out of the water and off the beach, back in back of those safety lines. It's the end of his first lap at qualifying. 150.986. 150.91, I'm sorry, 150, yes, .986. Lap number 1 for Tom Thompson. Yeah. Very close to the buoy line, a tight turn for Tom Thompson as he brings the boat up the buoy row. This is a boat that has been rebuilt a couple of different times, and it is a different U11 than we saw here on the Bill Munsey Racecourse last year. This is a boat that has been in the shop, was involved in an accident in Doha, Qatar several years ago, and they did not repair the boat. They had a different boat that they were running and decided this one would be the entry for this year's season. And so they put it in race-ready condition. End of lap number 2. (151.423). 151.423. Last year qualifying speed, a little faster than that, 147.926, but again, that was in the other hull that the team owns. Tom Thompson driving that one as well. So again, a nice tight turn for Tom Thompson as he comes up the buoy row, had to move a little bit to the right. You can see the wind is knocking that rooster tail in toward the infield, but Thompson is right on the buoy row. He's only about 4, 5, 6 feet off of those buoys. Comes through the SeaWorld turn, stretches it out a little bit. His arc takes him out to about lane number 3, maybe 2.5. And he'll come down, complete lap number 3. (149.189). 149.189. So his fastest lap was the second lap at 151.423. And we'll remind you that these speeds are unofficial. Each team has a black box, and the hull has to be taken to tech after the run. And if the two parameters so up the backstretch he comes at speed, lifts that left sponson just a little bit as he cuts through the SeaWorld turn. And we'll put him on the clock here as he comes down looking for that start-finish line to start his qualifying run for the 2017 Home Street Bank presents San Diego Bayfair. And there he is, across the start-finish line, starting lap 1. Rob Graham had been sponsoring Ted Porter's race boats since 2009, decided to get in the game himself as an owner. So far, a pretty good season for a brand new rookie owner, Rob Graham. Up the backstretch, nice smooth ride for J. Michael Kelly. Breeze at about 6-7 miles an hour. This boat has been in the winner's circle 4 times during its career. And let's get a time for J. Michael Kelly. (153.518), first lap for J. Michael Kelly on our Fast Lap Friday qualifying session. 153.518. So right now, that would put him at the top of the qualifying ladder, but we've got 2 more boats to go. And we shall see if that speed holds up. Lap number 2 for J. Michael Kelly in the U12 Graham Trucking. We saw it as the U5 last year. Rob Graham bought the boat. Said now we're going to take the 2 numbers that these 2 Graham Trucking boats have worn for the last several years, the 5 and the 7, combine them, we'll call them the U12 Graham Trucking Racing. Lap number 2 coming up. (153.967). 153.967. Lap number 2. And Mike comes out to lane number 3. Running a little wider this time than he did the first 2 laps. So Settles the boat down, comes to the SeaWorld turn. Now a nice tight turn from the exit of the SeaWorld turn, that big yellow buoy. It says, you're on the straightaway. Coming down to the finish line, into lap 3 for qualifying for the U12, J. Michael Kelly and the Graham Trucking. 154.753. 154.753, so that is the fastest of his 3 qualifying laps. This is another team that had a chance to do some testing in central Washington on the Columbia River June 3rd of this year. A number of the unlimited hydroplane teams made the trek over or to the Tri-Cities, Washington area, spent an entire day doing testing, and it has paid off. The Madison, Indiana race on 4th of July weekend was a non-points race. It was an invitational 4 boats, and this was one of them. And Andrew Tate ended up walking away with the Governor's Cup in Madison, Indiana. Placed 4th when we went racing at the end of July in the Tri-Cities. A 7th in Seattle because of a buoy that was dislodged. And it was really a shame because it was a terrific race between Andrew Tate and Jimmy Shane. A drag race off of the exit buoy, the last turn. Andrew Tate passed Jimmy Shane and crossed the finish line first, but because of that struck buoy, he was not declared the winner. First lap for Andrew, 154.051. 154.051. Andrew finished 2nd here on Mission Bay last year. 154.753 for Andrew Tate. 154.753. So our speeds are starting to bunch up in that 154 mile an hour range. And in fact, Andrew Tate's lap at 154.753 was identical to J. Michael Kelly's fastest lap. We have seen that from time to time where boats will run exactly the same speed, and that means the time takes them to get around from the start line back to the finish line. 159.988. 159.988. So he's about a mile an hour slower than his fastest speed qualifying last year, but clearly the fastest speed we've seen in qualifying so far today. So Andrew Tate on his final qualifying. Oh, we got the boat up out of the water a little bit there. Not feeling much wind at this point, but there always is some coming through Fisherman's Channel, which is about halfway up the backstretch. Down the front straightaway to finish his qualifying lap, the U9 Delta Reel Track, Andrew Tate. .546. 159.546 is where Fisherman's Channel cuts through. Right now, we don't have much wind at all. The river, or the race course, looks excellent. Jimmy Shane getting a nice ride as he comes to the SeaWorld turn. Now we'll put Jimmy Shane and Miss Home Street on the clock for qualifying. little over 143.5 for Jimmy Shane in his warm-up lap. And now he is on the clock for qualifying. Four of the 5 unlimited hydroplanes that are here in our pit area and ready to race have already been on the race course. And Jimmy Shane has to beat 159.988 miles an hour to be the fastest qualifier. Now we do have the opportunity for these guys to go out and run one more time in the second round of qualifying. And it depends on how close these boats are and who comes out on top as to whether they might pass in that second round or come back out and make a run at being the fastest qualifier. End of lap number 1. $158.319, 158.319 for Jimmy Shane in the home street bank. Winners in Seattle the first weekend of August this season. Tell you how important qualifying is right now. Of the races that we've run so far, the difference, 279 points between Jimmy Shane and the Miss Home Street and Andrew Tate in the Delta Real Track is only 279 points. That is actually less than the qualifying points that could be had, of course, and that's why they are so close in contention for the national championship here in 2017. $160.344, 160.344. So that is our fastest qualifying lap so far, unofficially, 160.344. Third lap coming up, Jimmy Shane in the Miss Home Street. Out of Madison, Indiana. Jimmy Shane lives just south of Seattle, but the boat, of course, owned by the citizens of Madison, Indiana. $161.151. 161.151. Jimmy Shane and Miss Home Street. Boat based in Madison, Indiana. Owned by the citizens of Madison, Indiana. The only community-owned unlimited hydroplane, and they've been doing it for more than 60 years. So Jimmy Shane trying to put that fastest qualification position out of reach of Andrew Tate. And the U9 Delta Real Track, that boat is in the water and ready to go after Jimmy Shane completes his qualifying run. Warm-up lap was 155.798. That was a warm-up lap, 155.798. He is now on the clock for his 3 qualifying laps, and we'll see if he can bump that qualifying speed up. Shortest way around the race course and a very smooth ride right along the buoy line for Jimmy Shane and Miss Home Street. End of lap number 1. Speed coming up. $162.739. 162.739. Much faster than his qualifying speed last year when he was the second fastest qualifier. In fact, that's one of the fastest qualifying speeds, unofficial though it might be at this point, that we've seen in quite some time.
speed and shutting it down, huh?
I guess that's the speed they wanted to hit.
Yes, I did get that.
So a fast lap in the books, and Jimmy Shane looks like he'll be bringing the book back to the pit area. Now the question is, will the U9 Delta Real Track decide to go out and see if they can bump their qualifying speed up here in round number 2 of our Friday qualifying. Right now, off the SeaWorld turn and down the Bowie Road. Here comes Andrew Tate to start his round 2 of qualifying. And he will be on the clock right now.
Warm-up lap 158.233. 158.233.
Big skid pin rooster tail. .233, the warm-up lap. So looking at picking up a little more speed. Not particularly close to the Buoy Row, out at about lane number 3 right now is Andrew Tate. His qualifying speed last year was 160.900. Not quite as fast this weekend so far in qualifying. 160.076 for lap number 1, 160.076. And Andrew still coming off that turn out at about lane number 3. Looking for a couple miles an hour. He's picked up 2 since the warm-up lap. Let's see if he can pick up another one here. Andrew, a very successful driver in Grand Prix and other limited hydroplane classes, and will be driving a brand new Grand Prix on the eastern part of the circuit for Steve Hearn Motorsports coming up next season also. Also an unlimited driver. 160.791. 160.791. And he's got one more lap to pick up 2 miles an hour. A little bit better turn there for Andrew, and now lane number 1. Shorter way around the race course. We'll see if he can pick up a couple miles an hour here. Here he comes, down in front of you guys on Fiesta Island in lap number 3, and he is across the line right there.
61920, 161,920.
That would have been Jimmy's first.
Last lap, 161.920. 161.